everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is JW Creewall, aka Flex Daddy. Right, just let me get reseated in this chair here. Today we have a very fun deck profile. This is number 2 in our top 9 archetypes to come out of Darkness Ablaze. This is the post-rotation Darkness Ablaze, team up to Darkness Ablaze format that I have deck lists here for you. And if you want to watch the rest of the series, there are the final, 7 parts still online. We have one last one to go. I'll let you guys guess in the comments which you think will be the last deck that we profile. But today we have this awesome Centiskorch deck. Now, Centiskorch is one of the hypest cards to come out of this new set, and I'm really excited to profile it for you guys. Now, if you haven't already, go on over to my Twitch, twitch.tv/FlexDaddyRighteous, where I will be doing a lot of new content centered around Darkness Ablaze, doing some things with Andrew Mahone, where we're playing some tabletop simulator, getting in on the action for the new cards and seeing how these new decks perform. So if you want to see that, if you're really interested in that over the next couple of weeks, hop on over to my Twitch channel and check that out. Hope to see you over there. Let's get to the deck profile. Little flexers, today is the day. We are bringing you Centiskorch. This is the number 2 deck of our top 9 Darkness Ablaze decks. We got Centiskorch. Let's look at the man here. Centiskorch, big bad, I don't know, centipede, I guess. Fire centipede, pretty sick. VMAX Centinferno for 2 colorless energy, says 40 damage plus the number of fire energy that you have attached. For each fire, you get an additional 40 damage boost. So to fulfill the attack cost, you're already hitting for 120 right off the get-go. You may attach a fire energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon after calculating damage for this attack. So ideal numbers for Centiskorch VMAX are going to be 3 energy attached. That's 160. That can 2-shot in the mirror, that can 2-shot Dragapult, that can knock out a Dedenne. I can knock out a lot of 1-prizers. So 3 energy attached for the VMAX Centinferno is like an ideal, but obviously you can ramp up to go, as high as you want. And depending on how many fire energy you have in your deck, you can go as high as you want with this thing. We also have the basic, which really, for a lot of the VMAXs can be slept on, but this basic actually has a very viable and legitimate attack in this format, and that is Burning Emissions. For 1 colorless, for 1 fire, you may discard an energy card from this Pokemon. If you do, choose an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon and discard it as well. So Centiskorch V, pretty good for against things like ADP, against things like Zacian that really need their energy on the board. You can kind of mess with that a little bit. So Burning Emissions, very cool attack for the Centiskorch V. And the Centiskorch VMAX just having a ton of versatility here with how high the damage can go. Now, how do we get this thing powered up? Well, Volcanion UNB. We've already profiled the Volcanion here with our Salamence deck, but I think it works just even more perfectly in this Centiskorch deck. So Flare Starter, search your deck for a fire energy card, and as you guys know, if you've watched that last video, if you go second, you can go ahead and attach 3 from your deck to your bench Pokemon. So that is a really, really great attack, and that is how we get our VMAX Centinferno attack to just really hit these big numbers that we needed to hit right off rip. So Volcanion also not a slouch when it comes to the second attack, having a lot of HP, having a very decent poke attack for the second attack. There's a lot to like about this card. In terms of consistency, we have 2 Dedenne. We have 1 Crobat. We have 1 Eldegoss and 1 Marshadow. That is our tech Pokemon. The Marshadow I thought was going to be really important in case the opponent plays down a Chaotic Swell. And, you really want your Hearths in these fire decks. And so Chaotic Swells are no bueno. This is a card you could cut. There are other things that I definitely want in here that I couldn't include in this base list. But for now, the Marshadow I think goes in because Chaotic Swell seems to be kind of the catch-all stadium of choice. Going into the supporters, we got 4 Welder, 3 Research, 3 Boss's Orders, and 2 Marnie, and 2 Mallow and Lana. So the Welder is going to be the supporter that we want to play the most. That is a card that is just going to make our whole deck run. It does the boosted damage. Every time we get a Welder for 2 energy onto a Centiskorch VMAX, that's like a boost of 80 damage. So like we can draw cards, we can boost our attack by 80 damage. Just seems really good. So 4 Welder there. We got 3 research just as a backup if we can't draw into Welder, because honestly, as soon as we get the Centiferno going, like as soon as we can start getting the wheels churning, it really just works itself out. So with the 3 research, you know, those are the kinds of cards that you want to play after you get a Welder or after you get a Volcanion, just kind of additional draw support. We have 3 bosses orders. Going to want to take advantage of the fact that the attacker is very low maintenance. So like 1 Welder, you're hitting, and an energy attachment, you're hitting 160. So as soon as you can get to that number, you can start knocking out Dedenes. So we want to have access to those Dedenes on our opponent's side of the field. We got 2 Marnie, 2 Mallow and Lana. The Marnie, our only disruption in this list, I would love like a reset stamp, but I think that the consistency for this deck is a little bit too important. So 2 Marnie for our little bit of disruption and a little bit of draw for us. And we also have 2 Mallow and Lana. Now, Mallow and Lana, when paired with Hyper Potion, you can heal for up to, well, I guess theoretically up to 360 damage in one single turn if you hit both Hyper Potion. But more realistically, you can play a Mallow and Lana that can help us with switching options if we need to get into a Volcanion on the first turn. That can help us with healing. More reasonably, it can help us with healing on the Centiskorch VMAX. Should we need it? Should we get hit into it? Water is not really a great typing right now. And so it's hard to see Centiskorch getting one-shot by many Pokemon in the next format, which is one of the big benefits of playing this deck, is that you're probably not going to get one-shot. And so we're going to lean into that strategy with the Mallow and Lanas, with, you can see the Hyper Potions down below, and the Big Charms as well. We got 4 Switch, 4 Quick Ball, 2 Hyper Potion, 2 Big Charm. Again, those are our healing, kind of our tankiness that we were trying to go for with the Centiskorch. We got 1 Fire Crystal, and 3 Giant Hearth, the ways that we keep our fire energy going, how we can always have fire energy in hand, and then 14 Fire. We want to just pack this deck full of fire energy as much as we possibly can. That is going to be crucial for us because we really don't want to have to Welder for 1. We don't want to have a hand where we have a Welder and no energy. We want to make sure that when we use Welder, we're using it for the full effect, and we want to make sure that we're always able to attach from hand as well. So I feel like as many energies as we can fit in there, as many Giant Hearts as we can fit in there, that's going to do wonders for our early game and honestly our mid and late game. Like as much damage as we can get going, the better, right? And we're always going to want to have an energy in the discard. We're always going to want to have an energy to attach for turn. And so there's a lot of places that energy needs to be in this deck. And playing a higher count is what we want to make sure that we are facilitating our strategies and getting our damage as high as we can. So that is the Centiskorch VMAX deck, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about this deck. Have you tried this archetype yet? We've actually played this on Tabletop Simulator with Andrew. Andrew and I have tested this matchup in a variety of situations, tested this deck out a little bit, and kind of found that, well, the heat fire energy really wasn't doing anything. The one that boosts your HP by 20 seems like it would work in this deck, but we actually just want more basic fires. I think that's the trend for this deck. That's where we're seeing it go. But if you want to see this deck in action, again, go over to the Twitch page, twitch.tv/FlexDaddyRighteous. You can see all this stuff in action, how it's meant to be played. So I hope to see you there. Remember, trainers, good luck and also have fun.